welcome to the Charles Aris AgTech podcast. We're fortunate today to have with us Christy Bustabad, whose family owns and operates a large farming operation here along the East Coast. Christy, thank you for joining us today. If you don't mind, give us an overview of your role and your farming operation.
I appreciate you having me on today. Again, my name is Christy Bustabad, and I'm actually a third generation farmer. My husband, both my parents and I own and operate DL&B Enterprises, which is located in southeastern North Carolina. We farm approximately 2,000 acres of produce as well as some grain crops. We grow, harvest, pack, ship annually over 1 million packages, specifically of bell pepper, cucumbers, eggplant, squash. Our products are sold through regional distributors along the United States eastern coast as well as out in the Midwest. Our products could end up in places similar to like Aldi's, Lidl's, Harris Teeter, food service companies. And actually, we were the first company in North Carolina that was certified to sell to Subway. We also own an ag consulting firm, East Coast Agri-Technologies, as well as a software company, Mobile FarmWare, that specializes in developing and selling software, hardware for the ag industry, providing like data collection systems, full payroll, and accounting software.
Very good. Christy, I know your operation has been exposed to many technology developments over the years, but as technology in ag and food continues to evolve, what notable advancements have had a significant impact on your operation?
Thinking about this, I kind of come up with a couple of different answers. The first one is, looking back over several years, because it's not a really new advancement, but it is extremely important. Thinking about outside on the farms, the guidance positioning systems or GPS systems for our tractors and our equipment. That has been one of the most remarkable innovations for farmers in general. On our farms, these systems are used on a daily basis for things like road planning, laying plastic, even soil sampling, and then in turn, application of soil amendments. Using like the GPS-based equipment results in like more precision in each one of these activities. It's much more cost effective because you apply those soil amendments like the fertilizer, the chemicals, etc., based on those sampling from the GPS locationing instead of just like widespread broadcasting. So in the big picture, it also just provides better stewardship for our soil, for our land. The second thing that kind of comes to mind is, which is relatively new to us, is our remote access and control for our field systems. We have 12 farms, 12 individual farms. Some of them are located as far apart as 20 to 25 miles. And we grow, all of our crops are grown on plasticulture, meaning that they're under a type of like film plastic. All the irrigation, fertigation, chemigation is controlled like underground by large pumping stations, filters, and computers at each individual farm. So in the past, my husband, who grows all the crops, would have to physically be at each location multiple times throughout the day to turn on systems, stop, add in chemicals, turn on the fertilizer, that kind of thing. But about 3 years ago, we made the decision, an extremely large investment, to convert each one of these to be remotely accessible. So like through a laptop and or mobile phone. We also incorporated this past year into that same system weather stations at our farms. So we can get up to date at the very minute weather details at each one of our farms, which in turn can also shut our systems down and can change the way things are being watered, that kind of thing.
At Charles Aris, Christy, we have the fortunate opportunity to work with over 100 different private equity firms and investment banking firms, many of those looking at the ag and food space. With that being said, what technological advancements do you believe are needed to further enhance and revolutionize your organization?
It kind of, first of all, it would kind of be easy to say things like drones, or like some more self-driving tractors, but kind of in reality, when we think about it on our farm, one of the things that would benefit the most is analytical labs, more analytical labs, soil, plant, water, chemical testing, better processes for those testing, quicker response times, affordable, whether it be, more private physical labs, development of like mobile affordable labs, and ultimately, hopefully, the development of certified equipment that can actually be housed on our farm that's affordable and is able to be processed and run by our employees. Labs nowadays have such a huge backlog of work and response times. For example, food safety is a huge issue on farms, and there are constantly different tests that have to be run. When we need a water test, which is for us could be a monthly, could be every 2 weeks, we need those results within a day or two. Most labs are so backed up, it's over a week.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one item. Now, another thing that I think that would kind of, I don't know, I kind of think in general, our society has forgotten about how important more educational opportunities and emphasis in the vocational fields. And just bear with me on this one. These are, they're the foundation of our society in general, especially agriculture industry, plumbers, electricians, mechanics. But those fields are becoming more and more technology based. They all have to have the basic skills, but they also need the training to bring them in to be able to work on the more complex technological systems that are being brought into our farms on a daily basis. Our pumps, well specialists need their basic skills. We all have to have those people, but now the equipment they use is just out of this world, and they have to have the training to do that as well.
So, if someone was interested in bringing that technology, what advice would you have for someone coming to trying to sell you on a new technology?
First, it would actually have to be financially feasible and advantageous to even be considered for me to probably take their business card. We don't have the luxury here of time because we are a large production farm. We are not like a test plot farm. It's very different entities there. So when we have someone come to us, we need to see the product in action, and we need to see that the results have already been proven, whether it's equipment, software, chemicals. We need the data laid out for us right then.
Very good. Christy, just asking, and you can answer this on behalf of your family, not just yourself, but what's one piece of technology that you couldn't go without in your day to day at work?
Okay, so I answer for my husband and myself. So my husband, he cannot make it without his remote accessible farm systems. These systems provide such a higher standard of control for growing of our crop. It has cut out his driving by more than 200 miles a day, each day, which allows him to focus on other parts of the farm. For myself, I'm kind of in the office more, software more. I cannot function. Our system, our farm cannot run without the payroll and the data collection software. Our software company that we have, government requires so many, it's a lot of paperwork, H2A labor, and you have to have computers and software and hardware that specifically deals with those.
Very good. Christy, it's always good to talk to you about what your family operation does to make sure we all have food on the table every night and every day. I want to thank our listeners today. If anybody is out there and wants to follow Charles Aris, you can go to our charlesaris.com website and look at our resources tab. There'll be more information, and that's where you can find this podcast when it comes out. Chrissy, if anybody wanted to learn more about your operation, where would you direct them?
They would go to my software site is www.mobilefarmware.com, and all of our entities can be accessed through there.
Very good. Well, Christy, stay cool out there. Make sure the team stays cool. It's very hot out here right now, but we have some better weather coming supposedly here in Eastern North Carolina next week. And thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.